being able to see with both eyes. It's a small thing, but it means the world. Finally get to find out how successful it's been and how much vision I get back.
It's a big moment for our family and we're all really excited.
Look to your right.
Just over a year ago, James became the first NHS patient to undergo pioneering stem cell treatment in an attempt to restore his vision. And today, he'll find out whether those operations have been a success.
There's a protective membrane that's sort of covering the area that was operated on last week, so that's being removed today. Very excited, a little bit nervous. It feels like this has been a long time coming.
James. Hi, I'm Oscar.
Hi, Oscar.
I first met James here at Moorfields Eye Hospital 18 months ago. With visual problems myself, I've also been a patient here, so James's story has always interested me.
You cover your left eye, and with
Okay.
your right eye, I'd like you to start reading from the top of the chart. Tell me what you can see.
I can only see the blob of light.
You can see a blob of light.
yeah.
Okay.
James has been blind in his right eye since he was 18, when he was the victim of an acid attack.
I was walking home from the cinema one night when I was approached by a couple of teenagers and one of them tapped me on the shoulder and as I turned around he sprayed a liquid in my face. Felt like my face was on fire. It was my eyes, my nostrils, mouth, everything where this liquid had gone. I thought I was going to die.
Come forward and bring yourself onto the left. Okay.
So what was the damage to your eye in the immediate aftermath of the attack?
It was ammonia, the chemical that had been sprayed on my face, and that basically burnt the surface of the eye. You know, I woke up the next morning to find that you know, I no longer had proper vision in the right eye anymore. It was kind of reduced to just being able to see, you know, sort of movement and a bit of light and shade.
James never imagined that he'd ever get his sight back until last year, when he was offered a new stem cell treatment to repair the scar tissue in his eye.
What we do is we can take a small biopsy of about 1 to 2 millimeters from the healthy eye, and we remove the scar tissue from the blind eye and repopulate it with this stem cell transplant.
So the stem cells have now arrived. They're inside this cooling bag, which means we've reached the crucial part of the operation where the stem cells are going to be implanted into James's eye.
This pioneering procedure has taken 20 years to develop, and James was the first NHS patient to receive it.
There we go.
And how did it all go as far as you're concerned?
Really well.
You're pleased?
Quite happy with that, yeah. He's got at least a 75% chance, if not higher, more likely that it's going to work than not.
James's journey doesn't end here. It will be a year before he knows whether or not the stem cell treatment has worked. In the meantime, James has been working with Moorfields to offer support to other victims of acid burns, like Mohammed.
I was a taxi driver, and early hour in the morning, I picked like 4 teenagers, and I just come out from the car because they didn't pay me, and they squirted acid straight towards my eye. Then I couldn't see at all. When I first was attacked, there was no one I was able to talk to about the experience. You know, I kind of went through it alone, and I think it would be really beneficial to talk to, you know, for people that are going through it now, to talk to someone that's been through it.
Both Mohammed's eyes were damaged in the attack. He can no longer work to support his family.
My oldest daughters, they're in uni in London. I used to help them financially. That's gone.
Yeah. Sorry.
Acid attacks in London have doubled over the past 3 years. It's such a big problem that Moorfields now runs a clinic dealing exclusively with victims blinded by these attacks. It's June, 14 months after James's operation, and the stem cell transplant has been successful.
Hi, morning, James.
Hi.
James can now have the final part of his treatment.
Around a year ago, we did his first procedure where we put stem cells onto the surface of his eye, and those have done very well.
Having gone through the procedure last year, which has kind of made the eye more healthy and more stable, today's operation is to hopefully give me vision back in the eye for the first time in 25 years.
What we're doing today, because it's worked so well, is doing his corneal transplant. So we'll replace all the scar tissue in his cornea and we'll put a fresh bit of cornea
onto his eye. So we're just centralising it here, just cutting through into the eye now.
The scar tissue in James's eye, which obscures his vision, is removed.
That's going to get sent off to the pathology lab just so they can have a look at it. So you can see this is the iris inside James's eye. There's a lens that sits behind that in the pupil. And then this is where we've taken his old cornea away, which is all scarred over and thickened. So this is the donor transplant.
James is given a new, healthy cornea from an eye donor.
So this is the cornea that we've cut from the donor tissue. And it's clear, unlike the tissue that you've just seen that's come away from James's eye.
The new cornea is held in place with stitches and then covered with a protective membrane, made from placenta.
It's all gone really well. I'm really happy for James. There's no scar tissue inside the eye.
Science is fantastic, isn't it? When this first happened to James, he probably didn't think that this would ever happen in his lifetime, but to know that actually the potential to now improve the sight for other people in the future is hugely exciting.
Visually and anatomically, I'm really hopeful. We take the amniotic membrane off at 10 days' time.
That was 2 weeks ago, and today James is back at Moorfields to have the membrane removed from his eye.
He's about to discover if his sight has been restored.
Great. Just keep looking there. It's all coming away. That's it there. I'm just taking the amniotic membrane dressing away.
How is it?
Oh wow.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I can see everyone in the room. I can see you.
What do you see the top letter on that chart?
Yes.
What else do you see?
A, E, O. Can't quite see the third row. I think there's an H and an L.
Yeah.
And an A.
It's almost getting the driving standard with the one eye. I'm really happy for James.
I can see everything.
And that's the first time in 25
In 25 years, yeah.
Not only has James's sight been restored, but he's also got the colour of his eye back.
Being able to see my eye, you know, the pupil, it looks different. I can see the blue of my eye again, I can see the black of the pupil. And I hadn't even thought about how it was going to change how I see myself.
He had, his other eye was already a beautiful blue, so actually it's really nice to see both of them.
But James has almost pioneered this pathway for other patients to then follow. This gives us a huge hope for all the other, you know, degenerative diseases, genetic diseases that can be rectified using similar stem cell therapies.
What are you most looking forward to being able to see now?
Lisa and the kids, really. We found a Chinese lantern that my daughter Edie had made earlier this year, and she'd written a little wish on it, and it said, I wish my daddy's eye will get better soon. And it has, so I'll be able to tell her that her wish came true, yeah.